Hey, how's it going, people? Manchester City have beaten Liverpool at Anfield 2-1. Nuts game, especially at the end. It is what it is, but the race is on and the chase is on. Man City are chasing Arsenal big time. Even Pep Guardiola has said that yes, we are 6 points behind, we are chasing, but there is still 13 games to go, which is a long damn way to go. We still have to go to Etihad and everything. One slip up from Arsenal, let's be real, could change everything. Saying that as well, one slip up from Man City could also change everything. And the closer we gonna get to the end of the season, as we are doing it this right now, the more it's gonna be a mental warfare more than anything, because there is a stage when physical aspect is just as far as you can take you, and then the mental aspect kicks into play, where you basically push yourself to the limits and beyond them. And we are getting slowly to that, and I think the biggest turning point to a degree this season will be the Carabao Cup. Definitely will be the Carabao Cup final, because if we look at Arsenal's schedule till the Carabao Cup, basically till the Carabao Cup, which is on March 22nd, we have to play Brentford away, which we should be winning. It's gonna be tough, but we should. Wigan in FA Cup should be a win. Wolves away should be a win. Spurs away should be a win. Chelsea at home should be a win. Brighton away, it's a 50-50, but I expect also a win. And Everton at home, we tend to beat them quite comfortably, so I expect that to be a win as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games in the Premier League where I expect pretty much every single win, maybe one draw or so. However, if we look at Man City's schedule until the Carabao Cup final, right? They have Fulham at home, will be a win. Newcastle at home also will be a win based on what just happened. Leeds away could be tough, but I expect them to win. Forest at home should be a win. West Ham away, they are starting to build something, but should be a win. And Crystal Palace at home at Etihad also should be a win. So I expect this by the Carabao Cup time be between 4 and 6-7 points in that gap, depending on which team maybe gets a draw, maybe somebody loses, because everything's possible, right? But with Man City, you have to expect everything, right? With Arsenal as well, this season we have been so consistent, you kind of have to expect everything. And with Arsenal overall, we can't expect wins, at least, because you have to keep winning. Basically, for Arsenal, if we keep winning, I think we need to win about 9 games out of the 13 remaining to win the league mathematically, or something like that. 9 or 10 games, right? If we beat the teams we should be beating, we should be golden. The thing is, though, as I said, I expect this gap up until the 22nd of March, when it's Carabao Cup final, be between 4 and 6-7 points. So basically one game maybe in between them. And I think the momentum will switch to a degree once the Carabao Cup final is played, depending on the outcome. Because I think if Arsenal win, it's gonna give Arsenal that extra strength, that extra courage, extra emotional lift, extra momentum, and it's just gonna prove that Arsenal have finally mentally gone over this hump, arguably, where they cannot get it over the line, and now they know how to get it over the line, which would mean that Arsenal most likely are gonna win the league as well. However, if City wins the Carabao Cup, I think it could play another cruel trick against Arsenal, because this is the place where this mental warfare comes into play, the mental aspects, the self-doubt maybe to a degree and everything. Because if we lose to City, it could damage us, definitely could damage us, and City will be on emotional lift, which give them that extra burst towards the end part of the season. And let's not forget, on April 18th as well, 1 month after Carabao Cup final, we still have to travel to Etihad. And we all know how we have fared at Etihad in recent years, and it's not been pretty at all. Let's be real, it has not been pretty at all. So overall at the moment, with 6 points clear, it's chill, it's relaxing, obviously, if you look at the Premier League table. At the same time, the fixtures for both teams are very favorable to a degree where we should be able to get the job done, they should be able to get the job done, and by the time we play the Carabao Cup final, we go to the semi-final, we do everything we should be in those 6 points. Now the thing is, if you look at the games that we have up until that Carabao Cup final, Arsenal have a tougher schedule arguably, because we have Chelsea, we have Spurs. As Spurs might be shit, it is what it is, but still we have Spurs, and we have Brighton away, which is definitely not an easy opponent. We tend to at times to struggle against them. But yeah, and Brighton away. Brentford away. That also is gonna be a bit of a rough one. Let's not forget as well the international breaks are gonna kick in into this, because after Carabao Cup final there is a 2-week gap. International break is coming back as well, and it again is gonna be very, very annoying. And on March 4th, between March 15 as well, there's 11-day gap, which if I'm not mistaken also is Carabao Cup, or is international break or something like that, which could play some cruel tricks. Let's just put it that way. Could play some cruel tricks. Arsenal have set themselves in a position where we are in a very good spot. We are in an advantageous situation where we hold most of the cards. Let's just put it that way. We are holding, arguably, let's just say 4 of a kind. If you play poker, you know the term, right? And the best way to beat is obviously the royal flush. And Man City, they need to draw that royal flush for us to basically lose. For us to lose the league, for us to lose some momentum and everything. The thing is, Arsenal have Saka and Odegaard injured. How long out for? No idea. Timber as well, apparently it's a bit of a 50-50 if I'm not mistaken, but we'll see how that's gonna go. But Arsenal are actually playing better, as much as I like Bukayo Saka, for example. He hasn't been great in the last year and a half. Odegaard hasn't been good for the last 2 years. And we play better without them, ironically enough. People start to say Arsenal are boring. I'm gonna do a different video on this, about the media and about all this stuff, but people say we play boring, we are killing football, it's gonna be crazy if we win the league. At the same time, Arteta has come out and fired back on this by saying we're gonna play more direct, we're gonna be more attacking, more influential. Obviously against Man United it was a bit different story, but overall we have been like that. And somehow it has coincided with Saka being injured, and since Odegaard has been out and Havertz has played in the 10, we have been much more threatening and much more forward thinking, because somehow Havertz, who has had up until he started playing no minutes pretty much for Arsenal this season, first thought when he gets the ball is get it to Gyökeres. Gyökeres has scored 6 goals so far this year. It's a lot, let's be real, given what he had scored before until the end of the year, where he had just only a few goals. So Havertz's first thought is getting it to Gyökeres. Other players, well, especially Odegaard, they just dilly-dally with the ball, hold on to it for too long, just like Saka, and then pass it backwards and everything, and Gyökeres is not involved in the play. With Havertz, on the other hand, he gets direct into Gyökeres, which is obviously playing to a big strength for Arsenal in that regard. But overall, yeah, Man City versus Liverpool was one of those games this season that I thought will be title deciding, depending on the situation in the table. And at the moment, it is a rough one to take, because Arsenal still have to go to Etihad, as we talked about this. And if we don't get a good result out of that game, because we tend not to. Yes, we drew there, it was a painful draw as well last year, if I'm not mistaken, and all this stuff. If we don't get at least a draw, it could be very long end of the season. Because then, if it's still 6, they beat us, it's 3 points, oh my god. If it's even less, oh my goodness gracious. So, Arsenal are in this spot where at the moment we just need to take one game at a time and keep on winning. That is all we can do. But overall, I think Arsenal most likely are going to win every single game up until the Carabao Cup final. Man City, I expect to do more or less the same. Even though they are vulnerable in the defense, Donnarumma is doing I don't know what he's doing on defense at times. Attack for them is banging, let's be real. So for me, the question is how it's gonna be after Carabao Cup final. Because if this was one part, this Liverpool City game for Carabao for the title race, I think Carabao Cup final is gonna be even more influential, and it's gonna be very interesting to see how that fares against us and against Man City or against more specifically after that. But right now we are flying high, top of the league, Carabao Cup final, 4th round FA Cup, top of the Champions League. Let's see where it takes us. Let me know what you think about this all down in comments below. Like the video, hype it up, subscribe, and see you soon. Peace.